never give in. Alright, welcome back to Skyblock. This is my 50 millionth attempt. Let's just jump into it. Let's not waste any time. I'm not going to steal from the Garden of Curses. I'm going to just do my thing now. If you can hear a cat, it's because there is a cat. Will my streak of bad luck run out? Tune in. I'm not going to show too much of the beginning of this. Y'all know what I usually do. So I'm going to skip ahead when things are a little bit more advanced. So stay tuned, unless I come up with something to talk about. Since this is also just the beginning of the video, I would like to let any viewers know that if they drop something in a comment, like a suggestion, like something to talk about, I could do a little rant on whatever that topic is, and then so basically I can take on that topic, and if that person or other viewers have something they want to respond with to that topic, they could always comment in the video where I answer it, and then the conversation can continue, almost like writing letters, like, you know, it takes a while for a response to come back.
A few years later.
Alright, y'all. Here's an update. I have made it to the Nether now. Collecting all the glowstone so I can light up my area a little bit better. Then there'll be what I consider phase 2 in preparation for the blaze takedown.
A few years later.
Alright, so it's day 3, and I've already built out the base pretty well, and I've gone to the Nether. I'm going to start the slab work soon. That's why I have these furnaces. I'm going to mine a bunch of netherrack and then turn it into netherrack brick and make a bunch of slabs. Stay tuned for more updates. Alright, it's day 5. Basically, I've just been making a bunch of nether brick and just slabbing up the nether. Nothing exciting, so you haven't been missing very much. Yeah. So this time around, I think I'm going to make my bridge over to the blazes a 3-block wide bridge, but there's going to be a choke point where there's only a door entrance, and I think when things get a little too chaotic, I'm going to block that door when I leave so they can't cross over on that level. And the other thing that they've got me with is when I build the roof to protect myself, they use that as a bridge, so I have to think of a better idea. I think I'm either gonna not build a ceiling or like a roof, Or, I don't know, I'm gonna have to just come up with a better idea. Maybe at a certain point I stop building the roof and I rely mostly on the bridge portion and being quick and not risky. But yep. This is not going to look very good because I realize it's much more expensive to use the netherrack to make slabs. So the rest of this is going to be cobblestone slab stuff. It's very fancy. So on my buddy's server, I went to this valley that was like right after this really big mountain range. It was very pretty, kind of like a cool transition from this like snowy mountain range to this like peaceful flowery valley area. And there was a village in the middle. So I transformed the village into my cult house. So it was a multi-story like house. It looked kind of like a giant version of one of the villager houses, but it had beds on like different floors, and basically I made it so that they all lived inside the compound. But then I made the mistake of putting a furnace at the bottom with like a lava pit, I think, or something, and the whole house caught on fire. But I put out the fire, and in order to repair the house, the compound, I used the materials of all the other houses. So it was like this patchwork monstrosity, Frankenstein together. And my other kind of running joke with King Yoda is that he would always provide a gift, which was like a propaganda piece in order to gain the appreciation of the villagers. He would provide a gift, which would be like a rare piece of coral in a little pond of water. And after he rebuilt the cult house, I brought jobs to the villagers in order to kind of like, ask for an apology. So I built this bigger compound, which was an Amazon warehouse, and it basically had this big open layout with a bunch of the different jobs that they could have in the middle. Their beds were on the side, and there was even a prison in the basement. The second floor was this open area where all the gardens were, but they had no way of escaping. So it's very, let's just say, we didn't have an HR department. Dun, dun, dun. So, but yeah, King Yoda was designed to be kind of like this hill kind of character, just diabolical. But the thing is, he was diabolical, but also a cult personality that knew that he was trying to basically be a con artist. Oh, also, those multiple times where I said King Yoda, it's King Yoga. Yeah, King Yoga. Evil bad guy. That's like an off blue color, not green. He does not have any superpowers except for persuasion. His nemesis is the foul fool, who is vanquished and sent to the foul fool pit, which is this giant classic square hole that goes to bedrock, like a hole, like what do we call it, like a whole chunk that goes to bedrock, and there's a beacon at the bottom that shines up, and there's a water elevator, and his soul was sent there to be trapped so he could never escape. And his followers are all chickens, and we don't really know if they were always chickens or if they were transformed into chickens or what. But to speak his name is heresy, and punishment is instant death by King Yoga's blade. There's also a floating like island thing. my little kingdom house was created from a creeper explosion pit. So basically when we joined the game, there was a creeper that blew up near spawn. And I used that hole in the ground to make basically like a little bunker. And that bunker became my little hermit hut. And the hermit hut isn't just made out of just dirt and stuff. It was made out of a bunch of random stuff that I collected over time. And it had like different types of glowing eyes. It's supposed to look kind of like a alligator face thing. Kind of reminded me of Donkey Kong 64 and like the King Cruel's like lair or whatever. I think it looked like a crocodile or something, or alligator or whatever. But and it had what's it called? Campfires in the nostrils, so it looked like there was 2 nostrils that were like smoking. So I guess it's like a dragon thing. But yeah, pretty cool. And it was very it's probably one of my most efficient builds, because when you go through the door, there's 2 doors you can go through. If you go through the doors, you get my bed, and my supplies are all looped around near the bed, and there's barrels on the roof, I think, if I remember correctly, so you can kind of rotate around to get whatever you need to get. Then if you turned right, you would go straight into the mines, but it was lit up enough that you wouldn't spawn any monsters that would mess with you, and it would take you straight to a bunch of different things. There wasn't just mines that it would take you to. It would take you to basically it was King Yoga's tunnel system as well. And there was a path that went straight to my buddy Brandon's house. But yep, King Yoga had a bunch of tunnels. One tunnel led to the Judgment Tower's judge chamber thingy. So basically, behind a secret painting, you could travel up this little area and be the judge of the Judgment Tower, also known as the Tower of Judgment, where we would hold kangaroo court style hearings. Basically, the person would always be guilty or whatever. And what else? Also, one of the first builds I made was called the Hay Tower, which was basically a flex build, because originally the first thing that was mainly taking over the downtown area of the game was wheat. So I took a bunch of that wheat and made like a tower. It kind of reminded me of like a factory, but I was also kind of inspired by Timpani Tower, but it doesn't look anything like Timpani Tower, but it reminded me of it. What else? We also made this giant lava cast staircase at the beginning, but it was very intense. So eventually it was redesigned as a spire, where we go up there with the water elevator to quickly set off in a direction with our elytras. So it was pretty good for that. What else? I tried to recreate the Going Merry in a giant glass bottle, and that turned out pretty good. That took forever. Had to make a bunch of glass. About 50%, I would say, of the interior of the ship is created relatively accurate to drawings that Oda drew. And there's a little island. That's where we put those shroom extinction creatures. I don't know what they're called. Those creatures that are from that like ancient egg thing or whatever. They're there. They are there. And yep. What else? If you go beyond the Foulful pit, there was tales of the Foulful returning to the Shadow Realm to take back, the land or whatever. And it was, he basically took this village and made it his, village. And he built this really big castle. Very big. And to the right of that is this giant medieval area that we have that has a spleef arena that Brandon made. It has a jousting arena when the spear came out. There is a Coliseum kind of like battle area that I used a map from Gears of War to create the kind of general layout, and it's pretty fun because it has a lot of kind of kinetic movement. It has a second floor and a basement kind of like dungeon area, so you can kind of come up, come under, jump over onto pillars and stuff. And there's a way you can spawn. Basically, there's 4 spawn beds on each corner of the like sphere shaped arena, and there's like pressure plate spawn thingies that you can get when you go in there. So like yeah. What else? There is also a pyramid that's also covered in wheat, but on the inside it is lined with deep slate, and it is like a room where the rulers come together and discuss what to do politically or whatever, and it's surrounded by a torus that goes all the way around it that's made out of dirt, but then it's basically the only entrance that you can easily access is a bridge that goes over from the mainland capital area into it, because it's surrounded by water, and that was a big what's the word, terraforming experiment or project. One of the first things I built was a torus because I thought it was really fun to use the website that would let you, I think it's called like plots or something like that, that would basically give you like a grid. So in a multiple layers and different like circles and spheres and ovals and toruses and stuff. And I would use that, and it's pretty fun because you would get used to it. It's almost like weaving. You get like used to the weaving pattern and blah blah blah, and got used to it, and it became like a fun way to make shapes that were kind of like organic and kind of whoa, that's kind of cool. And it's taken different transformations over time. At once, I was originally going to transform all the dirt because the dirt was the easy way to make it really quick. I was going to transform the dirt into all stonework, but I never completed it. But it does look cool because it has like this kind of stone pillar kind of structure at the bottom. Looks like it keeps it up because originally it was just floating, but now it has like this kind of like little entrance area and pillars and stuff. Kind of cool. And then some of it's still made out of dirt, so it kind of looks like some kind of ancient, I don't know, some kind of ancient dirt structure that's being kept up and kept, viable, or kept in existence. Come on, Bugaboo. Come on, Bugaboo. Go. Sorry, Safari. All right, I'm back, gang. Oh. Let's jump back into Minecraft. Yeah. Minecraft. Okay. All right. Yeah, we need more cobblestone. See y'all in a moment. Also, in our historical district, we have. So here's the layout, basically. There's King Yoda's little hermit hut. There is my friend Brandon's multi-floored house complex. There is the spire right next to that. Then there is like a main street that goes to the left of my dwelling between me and Brandon. And then there's another road that goes straight out, basically straight out in front of Brandon's house, past my house, and goes in the other direction, like 90 degrees from that other street that I'm talking about. There is a Enoch Pratt library. There is a bookstore. There is a laboratory with multiple floors. There is a little tiny chicken gel. That was the first thing I ever built out of whatever the orange wood is called. Acacia? I don't know. What else? There is a cow barn thing. There is a panda bear sanctuary. There is a one story with a basement, little row home looking thing. There is a bamboo little path wall thing. There is a map building where a lot of our maps have gone. There is a pink house with multiple floors that Brandon built. There's a New Orleans build that Brandon built. There is, if you go on that other street that goes left of my little dwelling, there is there's Tower of Judgment right behind my house. The hay towers, I think after that, after you cross this little road that goes kind of like a little offshoot. The Temple of Free Bitcoin is to the left of that road, up a little, like slightly up like a little dirt path, I think. That is a building by Reagan, aka the Foul Fool. He built that. Basically, there was a prank I think early on where there's this little hallway, and then the hallway had the prank of the soul sand under the carpet prank, and so it slowed him down, and by the time he got to the end of it, it turned out the chest just had one rotten potato in it, and he transformed that into where the Tower of Free Bitcoin is. It's kind of shaped like a giant Eskimo, like, what do we call it, like a snow circle thing, and looks pretty cool. It has multiple stones making it. Types of blocks. There is a building that I think Brandon made for his niece. It's like a 2-story, 3-story, kind of tiny little tranquil little house. There is a abandoned home that was that's basically where the Foul Fool used to live, and it was abandoned and destroyed, and grown over. And what else? This is all going away from the capital, so just so you understand. That road that goes to the left of my hut in between me and Brandon, it goes to a water fountain that has our dragon egg on top. It's made out of copper. Then that goes further out past the hay tower, and basically the hay tower and the tower, or was it called? What I call it? The Temple of Free Bitcoin. They are like neighbors across from each other. And if you keep going, you eventually hit a fence that starts taking you outside of the bounds of our capital. There's this weird little waterfall thingy that goes underground to this weird thing I never built anything with, but it looks very mysterious, I'll say. Just like kind of a strange little structure. It'll be something eventually. That road leads out to these two giant statues. That's all I'll say about that. Then the two giant statues that have swords that are crossing take you on this path that leads you to the medieval area and I believe the Foul Pit that goes. And then if you go further than that, you get to the village where Reagan has the castle. What else? Let's go back. What else? Oh, so underneath Brandon's house, there's a little villager spawning thing that he built that he used to basically create more villagers. Scary little underground dungeon, shocking and tragic. But King Yoga connected a path that went out of that area and it went to the Ark, which was supposed to be this inspirational, magical place to go to after you've been created. And it was basically this cult kind of like ritual where it's like, oh, now follow this river. It was kind of like the river Styx almost, but instead you're going to like this wooden structure that I took inspiration from. Basically it's like a I can't remember what it was, but it was like based off of like a really small. I watched a video basically on this like YouTube channel called Branch Education. I think they do like 3D graphic recreations of really small like digital components and stuff. And basically I took inspiration from that. I'm blanking. My brain's not working right now, and I can't think of what it's called, but that's what I was thinking. There's also I think I've mentioned that, the very far away, I'll mention that. What else can I tell y'all? Oops, I never connected this. Where is it? Oh, this was my little hiding area. If I need to hide really fast, run here. Boom, boom, hide. Maybe escape out the back. Where does this go? Oh. I have both of these ready to go if I need it. Should we start doing what we gotta do? What did I say I was gonna do? I was gonna make it a 3-lane this time, just to play it safe, so I don't just fall to my demise over and over again. So we're gonna do this. It's never gonna work. Where are we gonna run? Before we get burned alive. What else can I tell you? There is a theme park called Bikini Bottom World or something like that. It's a recreation, like a miniature recreation of all the different little SpongeBob like buildings. It has SpongeBob's house, Squidward's house, Patrick's house, Mrs. Puff's house, Plankton's Chum Bucket, the Mr. Krabs, Krusty Krabs. And there's like a little character for each thing. There's like a sponge, I think, in like a picture frame outside of SpongeBob's house. There is a picture frame with Gary the Snell in it. There used to be a cat underneath, so tragic. There used to be a cat that would meow, so it sounded like that. And then the customers realized how evil that was taken away. There's a little. Oh, there's Sandy's house. Sandy. The closest thing I could do was basically put a brown sheep in there, and so they're just a sad brown sheep in a tiny little glass dome underwater. I don't remember what I did for Patrick Star. There's no starfish, so I don't remember what I did for him. There's Miss Puff, the pufferfish. And silly enough, I was trying to name her Mrs. Puff, but I think I named her Darth Maul instead, and we kept it that way. And then one day, one of the most tragic moments was I was killed by Darth Maul. And it said I was slain by Darth Maul, and that was one of the funniest moments on record. What else can I tell you? Let's lock in. Let's focus on adding more to the. Let's do that. Oh my god. Okay, okay. He looks like he's on fire. That looks like a really epic skeleton. Let's just hide here for a moment, recover. What else can I tell you? There's these interesting buildings I built. They're like these little worship temple looking thingies. One is also like a kind of like a bedrock, digging to bedrock kind of thing. But oh my god, thing. But it's like a circle, and there's like a square of land that I didn't destroy at all, and it's basically hollowed out a little bit on the inside to make like a little like building. And there's this church that I built that's on a diagonal because I thought it would be interesting to see what that would look like. And I wanted the red glass to look cool, but I think now there's what's it called in Bedrock, but it doesn't make it look like red on the inside, so it's okay. What else? Alright, y'all. What's our predictions? Y'all think I'm gonna be able to do this just fine? Oh no. Just gonna take our time. Continue expanding this part. Leave me alone. Also, I feel like my game's lag or whatever you call it is bad enough that it's hard to tell what's happening with the fire when it's being shot. Let's go back up and go back to the normal world for whatever reason. I just want to organize maybe for a second, just because I feel like I'm not really keeping up with what I got, and what I have, and what I don't have. Haven't chopped trees down in a moment. Don't really need to. Don't want this. Don't really know what to do with the wart, except for maybe make some kind of potions late game. I don't know. I'm a little bit of a noob, y'all, when it comes to the things you can do much more in the post-game part of the, experience. But I want to persevere and beat this, because usually I'm not much of a difficult game pursuer. I don't really like playing games that are super challenging, but it's good to give yourself a challenge once in a while. Like I might have said earlier in one of my other episodes, I did beat Elden Ring. And that was pretty cool, but I only beat it because of Basically I'm like pretty bad at the game, but what I would do is even if it wasn't really working, I would use the same like weapon over and over again until eventually like just mathematically you would win, basically. Some of the wins, it's like I beat the thing barely and I'm like, oh my goodness, never gonna do that again. Also, I like discovered weapons that I felt like were really overpowered. One weapon from Elden Ring that everybody kind of hates on is the Black Blade, the one that you get from the gargoyle or whatever that's guarding that temple in the far right of the map, north right, where what's his name is, in the shroud little like thing he's wearing. The creature outside of that, I think if you kill him, you get the sword that shoots like a red laser, and people hate on it because I guess it doesn't scale very well, but for a noob, it's a perfect weapon because it's a sword, so you can hit melee attack and all this stuff. You don't have to switch between different like weapons and stuff and staffs and stuff, and you can two-hand it, and you can basically do a directional laser blast with a good amount of distance too. So like if the thing's flying above you, like those eagle things, you could do a blast at that. It's not one of those attacks where it like only destroys the ground and goes forward. It literally will go in the direction that you shoot it. So it's like a laser gun sword. So it's very noob friendly, I think, and it's very effective against a lot of things. It's just, I guess, in late game it doesn't really stack up or whatever. I don't know. We are full health. Let us continue to do this. Oh my god, I'm gonna die just from stupid attacks that are so fast. Maybe I do need to start building the roof. It's so annoying. I feel like maybe the Endermen aren't as hard. I don't know. That's going to be even more of a pain in the butt. I feel like I'm just going to get killed by an Enderman that's going to teleport and attack me in a way that I wasn't expecting, and it's going to be like GG. Alright, there you go. Let's destroy these. I need a way to get over there. So what we'll do is let's put yeah, I think it's a good noob weapon. And then the DLC spoilers, if you don't want to listen, skip ahead a little bit. There's this weapon that's been nerfed a lot. It was basically this thorn staff that would launch thorns through the ground and pierce up through the enemy, I believe. I don't remember as well, but it was very overpowered because it had bleed. Oh my god. Oh my god.
This is the dawn we've all been waiting for. A new beginning, pure and true. Let the skies be filled with light, for love has finally found its way through. Sings a tale. Every glance defies the veil. This feeling's not just out of style, it's written deep inside our souls. Desire was long, but now we see the destination is where hearts agree. The stars align in perfect grace. A moment stirs a silent place. The world holds its breath for a while, as if it knows this is the time to smile.
We have good food for a moment. We have 2 pork chops and 2 lamb chops and a chicken and a bunch of watermelon. And we don't have to go to the nether for a good long moment. I need you to get out of my way, bro. Come on, get out of the way. I just want to put one here. So our next thing we're going to do, collect a bunch of cobblestone and make a mob shadow zone where they can spawn. So we're just going to mine. I was born in the mines, molded by them. Has that been memed before? Someone made a Bane Minecraft reference. Steve Bane crossover. I am Steve. Yeah, Jack Black is kind of an icon of our generation. He's a gem. It would be good to look at his discography and, like, you know, I think he was in a movie called Be Kind, Rewind or something like that. And I remember thinking it was a good concept. I don't think I liked it when I was a kid. Maybe it holds up now, but it's about like VHS store, like a movie store, rental store. I grew up with like when that was coming to an end. I remember Video Giant. R.I.P. I'm worried I'm gonna hit this freaking zombie pig and he's gonna kill me. It's gonna be all for nothing. I'm gonna make the mob spawning area. What is stopping me over here? Oh. I'm gonna make the zombie thing over there. Get out of my way, bro. Go. No, go that way. Oh my goodness. I'm not meaning to do that. So it seems like the secret is kind of my secret for most games is if I'm not very good at the game, just grind through it and you just kind of eventually win statistically. So it's all statistics. It kind of reminds me of the Deadliest Warrior show, Ultimate Warrior or whatever it was called, where they said that we ran 1,000,000 simulations, and Struggle Ruggle came out on top, and here's our little dramatization of what that looked like. That's kind of like my logic when it comes to games when I'm not very good. It's like, hey, I might not be able to get good, but I can get a win at some point mathematically. I thought I was going to be able to beat Artorias in the Dark Souls DLC, because he seemed like more of a rhythm-based monster. He had to fight like a humanoid rhythm-based kind of thing, because I remember fighting the Bloodhound, whatever his name was, the Bloodhound Knight. He was like the first boss that was kind of easy, but also had like kind of like a rhythm thing going on. Like I used the other claws against him, or like the Wolverine claws against him, and I just got into the groove of doing that little shift and then attack and shift and whatever. And I've never been a parrier. I don't think that was back when my controller was a little poopy, so I was like, I would probably not time the parry right anyway. So it was kind of fun to parry as Marth in Smash Bros, but it's not something I'm that great at, that good. So yeah, for Dark Souls, I've gotten all the way to the end right before you fight the last boss, and I went and did the DLC. So I haven't fought that dude, that whatever his name is, the guy that looks like Santa Claus. I haven't fought him yet. And in the DLC, there's like, I guess 2 bosses I haven't fought, or 2 or 3. Like the dragon, I heard that the dragon is like not a forgiving boss to fight. Just kind of, supposedly it's just really hard and one of those big hitbox weird wonky thing. I don't know. Can't believe we got the blaze rods, y'all. Maybe there's a chance. I'm not gonna jinx it though. Let's try to place blocks down in a way where we don't mess up too much, because I don't want to make another pickaxe for a second. As daytime, we'll set up the mob area for the thing. I guess I should make like a little bar that goes across. I have the slabs still, so maybe what I can... Where are my slabs? Did I use the slabs? Nope, they're in here. Okay. Still got the stone, the cobblestone that I got for just in case kind of stuff. Just to be safe. Oh my god. That's how I'm gonna die. Campfire. Alright. 64 is 8x8, so I don't know. I'm not gonna make that much of a space, but let's make another door real quick too. Y'all, I think things are starting to look good. The thing is, I haven't even gone to the nether. I mean, the end dimension. And the thing is, the end dimension is that even if I feel like if I just beat the dragon, that'll be good. But what I really want to do is make something cool on the, like here or something. You know, I want to be able to travel out to the end islands and cities, get the elytra. I don't know how I'm gonna... I don't know. Maybe just get some better loot. Some random gear. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing right now. Oh yeah, I got the tree cut down. Alright. Let's focus on what we need to get done. We'll use the slabs to help keep mobs from spawning where we're at.